enjoy recreating outside, nautical theming, unforgiving jagged shorelines, a lake so cold and deep it will swallow you whole and you'll never be heard from again, there are two sides to the North Shore of Minnesota. One is an outdoor playground full of beautiful foliage, family-friendly hiking paths, and yummy smoked fish. The other side of the North Shore is romantic, harsh, and dangerous, but no less enticing, filled with harborless wildernesses, reefs and rocky headlands that jut out like knives to cut ships in two, and little ice devils that will pull ships and seamen into its depths, never to come up again. In this video, Tony and I will flirt with both sides of Lake Superior's North Shore in Minnesota. I'll tackle a trail run on the relentless Superior hiking trail, we'll enjoy some smoked fish, and learn what commerce and the gales of November have to do with each other. And before we get started, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoy this video, you might consider subscribing to Runaway with Liz, where I share videos about sometimes travel, sometimes running, sometimes both, and sometimes general good times that have nothing to do with either, but I think are no less fun. Our first stop on our trip is a little south of the North Shore, as Tony drops me off at Jay Cooke State Park to begin my trail run on the Superior hiking trail, northbound toward Duluth.
It looks like you're a government agent awaiting instructions. Have a good run.
Good morning. Tony just dropped me off at the Jay Cooke State Park Visitor Center, and I am on my long run, taking the Superior hiking trail up to Duluth. It's gonna be an all-day event, but I'm just gonna take my time and have fun with it. A couple miles in, I'm still in Jay Cooke State Park, but in the past when I've run this, this section, like the first 10 miles, is always very quiet. It's nice, it's a really pretty, very runnable, just enough like roots on the trail to keep you on your toes. Okay, I do really think that these are bear tracks. So I'm going to talk to the camera a little bit so that if it's nearby, it knows that there's a human around. And they are actually generally quite shy. It is still like a pretty big animal. I don't really want to see it. Hiking up. Oh, look at that view. So good. I'm walking up this incline and enjoying the view. I am almost at the first trailhead. Our first bike trail crossing. Once I reached Beck's Road trailhead, I made my way towards Eli's Peak, where the trail becomes rocky and unrunnable. The trail blaze markers are mostly on rocks rather than trees now, so we have to pay attention.
We got a wild woman! How's it going, Liz?
There are certainly ups and downs.
You feeling okay?
It's like I feel fine anytime I'm going down or like rolling hills, but then the ups are just like, oh god, I don't know, I kind of want to quit.
What can I get for you?
I need bug spray. I fell down.
Oh.
I saw a bear track in Jay Cooke State Park.
You saw bear tracks? Were they fresh?
I don't know. I didn't see a bear.
You didn't get down on the ground and like touch it with your hand and be like still warm.
Ooh. That is not hitting the spot.
Oh.
Maybe just put that there. On this particular run, I didn't eat solid food nearly early enough and experienced some intense nausea.
Is it nice to be back on a familiar trail at least?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
You've run this area several times.
Yeah, and every time I'm like miserable.
It's a hard trail.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really pretty.
See you later.
All right, bye.
Bye. Have a good run.
I'll call you.
Okay.
It's gonna end up being like a 22, maybe a 23 mile run, and that's fine. Well, this run didn't go exactly the way I expected. I am about mile 22 in. My Garmin is super low on battery, and I was also feeling like really, really nauseous. So I'm at a cross street now, and Tony is gonna come and pick me up. I always underestimate how challenging this section of the Superior hiking trail is going to be. It's actually the only section I'm really familiar with, but I always think, wow, it's going to be so beautiful and so fun, and then I get here and it always kicks my butt every time. But other than that, it was just a really beautiful day, a very fun day on the trail, really nice views. So overall, I would say a good day, even though I did not exactly get the mileage in that I expected, but it happens. Tony's mission while I ran was to get takeout from Northern Waters Smokehouse on Cannell Park, which is always a must stop for us when we visit Duluth. And we took our smoked salmon to Bent Paddle Brewing Company. We're at Bent Paddle Brewing, and we have our takeout Northern Waters Smokehouse smoked salmon. I'm very excited. This is how I do it. You put the cream cheese on the cracker. Then you take the smoked salmon. You put the smoked salmon on the cracker. Now you eat it. You've never seen Sandlot.
Yeah.
So you get what I'm referencing now.
Yeah. I forget what he's actually making, but.
Score.
Oh yeah. The next morning, Tony and I drove north to the very popular Gooseberry Falls State Park. I was feeling pretty beat up from my run on the Ruthless SHT the day before, so I just wanted to do some light hiking and try to enjoy the lovely popular hiking trails at Gooseberry. We are at the Visitor Center, and I'm thinking our hike we're going to try the Gitchie Gumi Trail, which is the hiking club trail. Franklin's ground squirrel up ahead. Hey, little buddy. The North Shore's story as we know it today began around 10,000 years ago when glaciers covered the region and the earth sagged under the weight. Once the ice melted, the earth literally rose in a phenomenon called uplift, and that, along with receding shorelines, caused the rugged landscape of the North Shore. I got a C- in Geology 101 in college despite the course being nicknamed Rocks for Jocks, and I've only understood stunning landscapes to form from a downward motion like erosion. So the idea of the earth rising up sounds magical and mystical, and I can hardly believe it. But it's on a plaque at the state park, so it must be true. What did you see?
I saw a person's crotch at the top of the waterfall. They were wearing leggings, so I didn't see anything unseemly or anything. It was just, they were in a deep squat up right above me. There's lots of people here. It's a very busy park. You probably won't be able to hear me at all over the waterfall. After our visit to Gooseberry Falls State Park, we drove south to Two Harbors for lunch. Tony and I just had lunch at the Cedar Coffee Company in Two Harbors. It's a little off the beaten path of Two Harbors, and it's very secluded, and it's got this really nice, quiet outdoor area behind the coffee shop with lots of tables, like picnic tables and stuff. A small, light lunch menu with wraps and things, and so Tony and I had a couple of wraps and some green tea lattes, and Tony did a little bit of work, but now we are on our way to Split Rock Lighthouse, which is very exciting.
Hi.
Hey.
Lake Superior is infamous for its shipwrecks and its spooky feature of water temperatures being so cold that bacteria growth that causes gas and buoyancy is inhibited, which means bodies claimed by the lake don't generally resurface. Split Rock Lighthouse was built around the turn of the century to warn ships of the shoreline in an area that had proven to be particularly deadly. In order to increase profits, the shipping season was extended later and later into the year, and toward the end of the season into November, violent storms made the lake dangerous and shipwrecks were more frequent. Each shipwreck meant loss of lives and, more importantly, loss of money.
Now you know. It is now a known.
1905 was an especially deadly year, spurring the need for a lighthouse in Split Rock's location into action. At Split Rock Lighthouse, we saw the homes where the lighthouse keeper and his family lived.
What are you gonna read out of the traveling library while Dad's watching the lake?
Science in Modern Life, Volume 2, The Vegetable World.
The site of the hoist and derrick used to lift supplies and building materials from the lake to the lighthouse, and the lighthouse itself and its prism light shipped from Paris.
It's true.
Split Rock Lighthouse is also within Split Rock Lighthouse State Park, though they are run by different organizations. So Tony and I took a few minutes before leaving to stroll along the path along the lake before heading back to Duluth. Unfortunately, by that time, all smoked fish takeout was closed, so we settled for Corktown Deli and Brews. It's a newer, trendier restaurant affiliated with the OMC Smokehouse in Duluth with nautical-themed decor. Before heading out the next morning, Tony and I sought out more nautical theming along Cannell Park's Lake Walk and Lake Superior's Maritime Visitor Center, which is a small free museum on maritime history.
Dueling cameras.
I behaved in your video.
Oh,
I bet she was tempted to not behave.
oh no, puddles.
We got a huge rain last night, and actually there was a blackout in the area that we were exactly staying, and somebody was stuck in the elevator for like 2 or 3 hours at our hotel while the electricity was out. But anyway, the reason that I'm saying that is because there's tons of water on the sidewalk here because of the rain last night. Anyway, this is a bridge. It's kind of a big deal, I guess. It's a lift bridge. Lifts up when ships come in and out. Kind of an iconic thing in Duluth.
Pretty neat.
Yeah.
Super air chic. I want to dress like a girl, right?
Steady as she goes, Mrs.
Boys, folks, straight ahead. Quick. Just barely missed it. No!
Yeah, your name is
Thank you so much for following along on our adventure along Minnesota's North Shore. Tony and I always enjoy our time along the North Shore, exploring the hiking trails and experiencing the haunting romance of Lake Superior. And if you enjoyed this video, maybe you want to give it a thumbs up and maybe even subscribe to the channel Runaway with Liz. If you do, thank you so much for your support, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye. I think my new vibe should be the Gales of November shipwreck chic.
It could be your character. I'm Gale of November.
I'm a Gale. My new Halloween costume is going to be
Gale.
the Gales of November.
The Gale of November. And it's just you with like a baseball bat that says like, for the Edmund Fitzgerald. And you could just be bashing about. All dressed up as a ship and you dress up as a Gale of November and like you start